Coming up on One Detroit, it's all about music and the arts. How the Dearborn Symphony Orchestra is planning for the future. Plus, Detroit singer-songwriter Audra Kubat on inspiration during quarantine. Then a virtual telethon to raise money for Detroit artists. I'm Christy McDonald. Join me for One Detroit coming up.
Support for this program provided by W.K. Kellogg Foundation, a partner with communities where children come first. The Cynthia and Etzel Ford Fund for Journalism at Detroit Public TV.
Masco Corporation is proud to manufacture innovative and environmentally friendly products for the home. Delta faucets, craft-made in Merillat cabinets, and Behr brand paints have all been designed with you in mind. Masco and its family of companies, serving Michigan communities since 1929. The DTE Foundation is a proud sponsor of Detroit Public TV, among the state's largest foundations committed to Michigan-focused giving. We support organizations that are doing exceptional work in our state. Visit dtefoundation.com to learn more.
Business Leaders for Michigan, dedicated to making Michigan a top 10 state for jobs, personal income, and a healthy economy. And thank you to these supporters. And viewers like you.
Hi there and welcome to One Detroit. I'm Christy McDonald. Tonight, it's all about arts and culture in a time of COVID-19. Theater, symphonies, art shows are all live and personal experiences that are now put on hold. So we're finding new ways to keep up with the creative and cultural things and artists that bring us so much joy. Coming up on One Detroit. Meet the maestro of the Dearborn Symphony and hear how they're planning for the future. Plus, Sphinx founder, violinist, and music educator Aaron Dworkin talks to National Endowment of the Arts head Mary Ann Carter. Also coming up, new music from Detroit singer-songwriter Audra Kubat, plus ways to help out artists in Metro Detroit who are struggling without work during COVID-19. And we'll end with a personal concert from the Assistant Principal Cellist at the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. It's all coming up. Joining me now to talk a little bit about the Dearborn Symphony Orchestra is Stephen Jarvi. He is the music director in the 58th season of the Dearborn Orchestra, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
And also joining me is Sandy Butler. She is the president of the Dearborn Symphony Orchestra. Sandy, it's good to see you.
Likewise.
Sandy, when we do emerge from this, and we all will emerge from this, it's important that we have these, musical groups to be able to turn back to. What have you started to think about in terms of programming for the fall and for the future, and making sure that we can consume all together that live musical experience?
Well, I think before this all happened, of course, Steve was working on programming for next season. There's, of course, had to be we had to postpone some things, maybe cancel some things. We've been working on budget. We've been working on communicating with our patrons, with our advertisers. We need to maintain contact with them because we're so grateful for their past and ongoing support.
Yeah, and for the musicians, I feel like this is a great time for people to understand what gig economy really does mean. And I think some people think like, oh, well, I bet they're just shutting down and saving every penny and every button in every corner. And that's true in some regards, but also we have to pay administrators and people to do the groundwork that keeps the symphony working. And then, those musicians are teaching a lot of lessons online or something. And I think now that there are more people driving a little extra Uber for some cash, and they got that waitress job for a little extra money for the savings account, like that's what music making is. We live from concert to concert, and also we're hungry for it. We're so hungry to perform. We want to put something out there, both for us, kind of almost therapeutically. If you're used to making music every day, it's very hard to just stop.
And since you are the new music director for this year, you got the job, was it last September?
Yeah, this is my first season, so it's a strange way to end the first year.
I can't even imagine, but give people the sense of when you are the maestro and you are conducting this group of people at the Dearborn Symphony. What is that like? And describe it for us.
There's so much energy coming at you, and music one of the things that's so special is that it happens live in real time. This is it. This is what you're experiencing. It will never happen in that moment again, and maybe on recording. These people are all elite at what they do, and when you're up there, you're really a coach, but then during the show, you're kind of a quarterback. So I'm giving them both the preparation work and then like, okay, I'm going to throw you this pass. So here we go. It's being writer and director at the same time in a lot of ways. So it's exciting. But to talk about that idea of interacting and supporting, you know, the symphony has been super kind in supporting our musicians, not only just with kind regards and a very fun Facebook chain of support, but we are coming up with a plan of how to pay some of our musicians. We've already paid our musicians for an educational gig that was one of my favorite things to do, go into schools, and actually we're going to bus in, oh, I don't know, Sandy, how many hundred of
2,000 Dearborn Public School students attend a children's concert for free every season. And the schools, we have the participation of both the schools and the city of Dearborn, so that the students are bused to the Ford Community Performing Arts Center where we perform. Yes. So for many of them, it's their first experience with live music, and certainly in any kind of a beautiful performance theater. And it's been a big hit. Unfortunately, Steve didn't get to do that this year because the energy level, well, oftentimes it's very sedate with our regular audience. With the kids, you can feel the energy, the seats. It's like they're like lifted off of the seats and they sit and they conduct.
Yeah, and I had gone into 12 different elementary schools throughout Dearborn already to kind of prep the kids. So it is unfortunate that the concert didn't happen, but I'm glad that we've laid some groundwork. And that's certainly something I'm really passionate about.
And I think it's what you're both talking about is the importance of a symphony to a community, and the way that you're able to outreach. It's knowing that you have an organization that's been there for 58 years that brings culture and joy to a community.
Many of our musicians, this is their job. They perform in multiple orchestras because we're a pay per service. We're not a salaried orchestra, but and right now the board of directors is establishing kind of an emergency fund for our musicians.
Our musicians are definitely, we are all scheming and trying to come up with the best way to kind of creatively share online. But then into next season, we may have to keep some of that creativity working. I can imagine socially distanced concerts, and you know, I don't want to go to a rehearsal in a mask, but if I have to, there might be some sort of in between that we're living in by the fall. It's just very hard to tell. But in the meantime, you know, we have the joy of music to kind of get us through the day.
Joining me now is Detroit musician, singer, songwriter Audra Kubat. Hi, Audra. How are you?
Hi. How are you, Christy? Nice to see you.
It's great to see you too. How's everything been going?
Pretty good. All considering.
Yeah. It's a strange time for everyone. It's got to be especially strange to be a musician at this time when it's a really different way to share your music and to share your art.
Yeah, it is. What's been really exciting is to watch sort of the community of musicians sharing their work still and going live and in this new format, and finding really that people need it so much. Like, I think that what it's helped remind me, and I think many others, is that live music is so important for the soul. And so when you see people go live on Facebook and other sort of social media, Instagram and such, and you see the response of the people watching and like the little hearts flying by and the comments like, oh, this is so nice. That's such a wonderful way to connect that I don't think we may have realized that before this time. Being able to see people live on my stream that I wouldn't have normally seen. And because I have nothing much going on, I'm like, okay, I can sit here and really like connect with this moment. So really hearing people in this such an intimate space too, like even talking to you here, it's like I feel like we have this intimacy that we can, you know, talk, and it's very comfortable. And so I've been having those experiences with watching artists play and really being able to, I'm not in a bar, it's not really loud, and there's not people like, clinking drinks and such. And suddenly I'm like, I'm in this space with this artist, I can really listen to the words.
You've been in the Detroit music scene for a long time. You have 6 albums. How would you describe to people the Detroit music scene?
Welcoming is the first word. Um, yeah, and eclectic, and sort of bold, and moves a lot. It has like a real sort of sense of movement and inclusivity, I think, because there's so many different kinds of musicians. And I'm really lucky because I teach at a university at Dime Detroit downtown, and so I come in contact with all kinds of like young musicians who are learning about songwriting in some of my classes, and they're just all across the board as far as like they're doing folk or country or R&B or rap or like some kind of like mesh of that. So I get to sort of connect with all of those like sort of really like feverishly excited artists. It is beautiful. It's something that like just immediately, you can put your fingers on something. It's visceral. It's like tactile. Even if you don't know is like whatever level you're at with music, it's sort of like it's just innate. It really is. It's like it's. I always try to remind people that the artist isn't somebody that's like up here and then the audience is down here. Like we are all a part of that wave. Even as a writer, everything that I see and all the people I come in contact with, they inform my songs. We are all sort of a part of that.
Hey, Audra, tell us about the Earth Day song that you're releasing
Yeah.
right now.
So that I wrote a song a little while ago, "Oh Mother," and it's actually on my album. I put out an album in November called "The Sliver and the Salve," and this song is called "Oh Mother," and it's a celebration of her beauty, and also there's a warning in there. It's very much about the climate crisis and sort of inequality, sort of across the board. When it comes to sort of caring for each other and translating that into really caring for the earth and what that means for everybody.
We have with us today our guest, Mary Ann Carter, Chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts.
Thank you, Aaron. I'm glad to be here.
You are our nation's leader as it relates to the arts. How did your passion for the arts kind of emanate from or come from?
Well, it's interesting, Aaron, because I think I was just an average art fan. I love to dabble here and there, but I never really considered myself as an arts person. And then when my daughter was 7 years old, she was diagnosed with dyslexia. And so I started searching around for a school where I knew she could be successful. And so I found a school that specialized in kids with dyslexia. And the real difference in this school was that they integrated the arts into the teaching method. I became such a huge proponent and realized this was something I felt I could really help with, spreading the word on what arts means to everyday life.
I know there's so many times when we see this role that the arts can play, especially in amongst young people. So thank you for that. When you kind of look now with everything related to the pandemic, is there something that you view as the primary role of the agency when you take all that breadth into account?
I think our number one priority right now, and this is what everyone at the agency is focused on, is the survival of the arts organizations across the country. They are hurting. There's a lot of comparison between the pandemic, the economy now, and the economy in 2008 with the recession that hit. But it's so much worse now because all across America, arts organizations, their doors are closed. The facilities aren't allowing anyone in. There's no income coming in. And that's drastic. And it may be that way for a while. Our focus right now is survival. And, I am so appreciative that Congress and the president recognized the economic impact the arts have on the economy. And so by recognizing that and giving additional funding to the National Endowment for the Arts, we are utilizing that money to preserve as many jobs as possible and to make sure as many organizations as possible can open their doors when we're on the other side of this pandemic.
How do you view the importance of the arts for communities specifically like Detroit or similar communities around the country?
Well, Detroit's a perfect example to talk about the arts. We brought the National Council on the Arts to Detroit for one of our meetings outside of Washington, and it was an amazing trip. And the reason we picked Detroit was because, A, there's such cultural pride in Detroit. And the second was we know that the city is committed to making sure the arts are integrated into all community and neighborhood revitalization. And you saw it when we were there, and you could see the difference. So Detroit is actually now a model to prop up. But the arts are economic engines. And that's why it's vital that we preserve the jobs and make sure these organizations can reopen on the other side of the pandemic, because they really are economic engines for not just urban communities like Detroit, but for rural communities scattered all over Michigan and the rest of the country. And we know that typically a dollar that we appropriate or that we spend in a grant award leverages $9 from in private money and to the economy. That is a great return on investment. And so not only will we need the arts just for solace and relaxation and as we find our way in what our new normal is going to be, but we need the arts for the economic input that they bring to a community.
Thank you so much for joining us and for taking this time. We really appreciate it.
Joining me now is Rochelle Riley. She is the Director of Arts and Culture for the City of Detroit, but you know her as a voice from the Detroit Free Press as a columnist for years here in the city. Rochelle, it's great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me, how's everything been for you?
Well, I can tell you, we were going gangbusters and having a great old time in January and half of February when we were talking about the new Office of Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship, and all of the plans that the mayor and I wanted to get started on. And then, of course, like everyone else in the world, we were hit with COVID. And everything now is about working together to help each other, making sure that these artists who I've been working with for the advent of new programming can now just survive the pandemic so that they can make sure that they're here and strong post-pandemic.
Now, because of COVID-19, this crisis, the gigs are no longer there. The ability to be able to go and reach the public and interact in a live way and in a space is no longer there. What are some of the personal stories that artists are telling you about some of the struggles that they're having right now during this lockdown where we're all at home?
You know, I wish I'd had it. I would have worn a t-shirt that says artists are people too. There's this sense that because you're an artist, no matter how you make a living, that you are well off. You're somebody who doesn't need help or attention. And quite frankly, they are some of the people who need help the most because, as you said, when the venues shut down and when the gigs were canceled and the exhibitions and book tours were canceled, I've talked to so many artists who have no income right now because all of their income was based on their talent, based on their appearances. That's why Mitch Albom and I got together to do this Metro Detroit COVID-19 Artist Crisis Emergency Fund. You'll hear me do lots of things with ACE, which is also the name of my office. It's vital that we raise some money to make sure they do it because they're not small businesses. So these small business initiatives do not help them. And some of them, because they're paid in cash, can't prove a lot of unemployment. So some of them are not getting unemployment benefits. So when I say they have no money, I want to come out of this where we have these brilliant people still in Detroit and they don't feel like they have to go someplace else because we don't love them, because we love them.
So talk about ACE and what the plan is, a virtual telethon of sorts and performances. Talked about how that's all coming together and what we're going to see soon.
I am so excited. We have artists sending in their videos from everywhere. This fund is for Wayne and Oakland County because so many of our artists are in that whole area but perform and work and teach art to children in Detroit. So we're going to have this telethon that's based on several of those video performances, and it's going to be artists either performing or showing how they craft or talking about their work. And Mitch and I will do some pleas in between to remind you how you can support them. But we also have people from all over the place. You know, I've asked actors and other musicians and supporters, and just, you know, you'll be surprised by some of the people who are just sending these messages of encouragement and hope and reminding people to donate.
So when you're talking about the fund, you're looking to raise what, $50,000?
Yes.
Okay, and then how would you then distribute those grants to the artists?
Well, as you know, the city of Detroit and I do not touch the money. I have no math skills. I would not want to. Metro Solutions out of Detroit, which is one of the best fiduciaries and which works with every other organization, is handling the applications, which are very simple. If you're an artist and we have money, you get it. And also handling the distributions, either via check or Cash App or however an artist needs to get it. So they are coordinating the fund, which is a GoFundMe campaign that you can find at detroitmi.gov/ACE. Yay, I said that right. detroitmi.gov/ACE. It tells artists how to apply and it tells you how to donate. And they will be distributing the money. They will keep a list of everybody we helped because eventually I want to do an artist census so I can prove that we have more creatives than any other city in America.
And that is going to do it for us on One Detroit. For more performances and more on our stories here, plus our daily COVID-19 updates, just head to our website at onedetroitpbs.org. All right, we're going to leave you tonight with a little bit of a home performance from the assistant principal cellist at the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. His name is Abraham Fetter, and he is going to be concluding Bach's Cello Suite number 3. I hope it brings you just a little bit of joy. I'll see you on Thursday. Take care.
You can find more at onedetroitpbs.org or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.
Support for this program provided by W.K. Kellogg Foundation, a partner with communities where children come first. The Cynthia and Etzel Ford Fund for Journalism at Detroit Public TV.
Masco Corporation is proud to manufacture innovative and environmentally friendly products for the home. Delta faucets, craft-made in Merillat cabinets, and Behr brand paints have all been designed with you in mind. Masco and its family of companies, serving Michigan communities since 1929. The DTE Foundation is a proud sponsor of Detroit Public TV, among the state's largest foundations committed to Michigan-focused giving. We support organizations that are doing exceptional work in our state. Visit dtefoundation.com to learn more.
Business Leaders for Michigan, dedicated to making Michigan a top 10 state for jobs, personal income, and a healthy economy. And thank you to these supporters. And viewers like you.